back with another update. In this episode, I'll cover the Russia-Ukraine conflict, illegal immigration-related news, the crackdown on crime in D.C., and the Texas redistricting drama. Of course, I'll end with the noteworthy tidbits. President Trump announced that he'll be meeting with Russian President Putin on August 15th in Alaska, and while in Europe, Vice President Vance met with Ukrainian officials to discuss peace with Russia. Ukrainian President Zelensky expressed anger about not being included in the plans for Trump and Putin to meet, and now President Trump is considering inviting Zelensky to join. Ukrainian support for the war was over 70% in 2022 and is now only 24%, according to Gallup, and 69% say they want peace negotiated as soon as possible versus fighting to win. As for other conflicts, the president of Azerbaijan said he might nominate President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize for aiding and ending their war with Armenia. The two countries had been in conflict for 35 years by the time they signed the peace accord with Trump, and as Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard explains, under this president's leadership, this historic peace deal has been truly made into a reality. On to illegal immigration-related news. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass said that removing illegal aliens from their jobs and giving those jobs to Americans will destabilize Los Angeles, and on the flip side, Florida Congressman Byron Donalds called for no carve-out protections for illegal alien construction workers. Donalds explained, "We cannot allow this situation to metastasize with these carve-outs. We have to be very firm when it comes to immigration policy." A federal court reversed Judge James Boasberg's order of contempt against the Trump administration for deporting criminal illegal aliens under the Alien Enemies Act, and southern border wall materials auctioned off by the Biden administration will soon be sent back to the Trump administration. GovPlanet has around $350 million worth of unused materials and worked with the Office of the Border Czar, Tom Homan, to reach an agreement to return the materials. In related news, President Trump signed a directive for the Pentagon to use the military against cartels in Latin America, and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum expressed her opposition to this move. Let's switch to the crackdown on crime in D.C. Washington, D.C. has been federalized, and federal officers in marked units are now patrolling high-traffic tourist areas and other hotspots, already making drug arrests. Yesterday, a group of 100 youths fired shots, launched fireworks, and rode dirt bikes through a park near the D.C. Capitol, and the FBI and DHS responded to the matter. A curfew zone was put in place for youths following this incident, and the U.S. military is preparing for the activation of hundreds of National Guard troops. President Trump addressed the nation in a press conference today to announce law, order, and public safety will be returning to D.C. Not only does Trump want to crack down on crime in D.C., but he also wants the city cleaned up and renovated. He remarked, "The city only gets dirtier and less attractive, and I will take care of our cherished capital, and we will make it truly great again." Shifting to the Texas redistricting drama. The Texas House tried to convene again, but there was no quorum to pass the redistricting map. Texas Governor Greg Abbott threatened to increase the U.S. House redistricting gain for Republicans from 5 seats to 8 if the Democrats who fled don't return to allow a quorum. The Texas House revoked the Democrat lawmakers' access to direct deposit, so they can't get paid until they return to Texas, and in addition to that, they'll be charged $500 per day that they're gone. Budgets for each office member will be slashed by 30%, and Attorney General Ken Paxton filed to fully vacate the seats of over a dozen Democrats who refused to return. Paxton is also suing Beto O'Rourke for bribing the derelict Democrats, and he secured a restraining order on O'Rourke against illegal fundraising. Paxton said, "The Beto bribe buyouts that were bankrolling the runaway Democrats have officially been stopped." O'Rourke responded by demanding every Democrat state quickly redraw their congressional district lines ahead of 2026, saying, "Fuck the rules, we are going to win, whatever it takes." Ooh, he's so edgy. Governor Abbott announced he'll call special session after special session until the new congressional map is passed. Now it's time for the noteworthy tidbits, which are brought to you today by Big Fork Brands. Let me tell you about them quick. Sometimes I get on a roll cleaning or gardening, and I need a boost, but don't have time for a meal. Big Fork Brands pork jerky is the perfect choice to keep my momentum, offering high-protein snacks for on-the-go energy boosts. Not only do they offer pork jerky, but they also make pork sticks, bacon sausage, bacon hot dogs, and burger and hot dog sauces. Products come in a variety of delicious flavors, including Thai green curry and maple and brown sugar for the meat options, and gangster and Chicago fire for the sauces. I personally think the original flavor of the pork jerky hits just right after tackling a big chore. It's a little salty and very flavorful. My discount code gives you 20% off your entire order, and it's currently the best deal available. Just visit bigforkbrands.com and enter in my promo code JADE, that's JADE, at checkout. All right, let's get back to the tidbits. President Trump's approval rating is 14 points higher now than at this time in his first term, according to Real Clear Politics, and according to a new RMG poll, his approval rating has remained positive for 70 days straight. Federal Housing Director Bill Pulte demanded an investigation into Nancy Pelosi for insider stock trading. President Trump nominated Tammy Bruce as the next Deputy Representative of the United States to the United Nations with the rank of ambassador. She is currently the State Department spokeswoman with Marco Rubio. Billy Long was removed from his position as IRS commissioner after he fought against using tax data to find illegal aliens. As a result, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has been appointed acting IRS commissioner. The Department of Justice launched a grand jury investigation into New York Attorney General Letitia James for violating President Trump's First Amendment rights by targeting him. Subpoenas were sent to her office, and a grand jury is underway in Albany. Senator Adam Schiff is being investigated by Special Attorney Ed Martin for mortgage fraud, and reportedly, the attorney representing Schiff wants Ed Martin thrown off the case over allegations of glaring bias. Former Georgia Lieutenant Governor Jeff Duncan has left the GOP to join the Democrat Party. A cute story from the past couple of days is that Vice President Vance revealed the reason he was running weird at Disneyland, which was caught on video and went viral, was because he was playing ogre with his kids. He explained that he chases them, but not at full speed, acting like an ogre. A South Carolina aluminum producer is investing an additional $50 million and adding 100 jobs as a result of Trump's tariffs. The plant was partially idle, but is coming back to full speed because it's now easier to produce in America. According to The Hill, Congressman Chip Roy is considering a run for Texas Attorney General, replacing Ken Paxton, who is running for Senate. Florida Congressman Carlos Jimenez has filed to kick Congresswoman Delia Ramirez off the House Homeland Security Committee after she said she's loyal to Guatemala, not the United States of America. FBI Director Kash Patel revealed that under the first 200 days of the Trump administration, the FBI arrested 1,600 criminals who committed violence against children, 270 of which were human traffickers. The U.S. House Oversight Committee plans to gather evidence to overturn Biden's pardons of Dr. Fauci, Adam Schiff, Mark Milley, and others. J.P. Morgan is forecasting a Federal Reserve interest rate cut next month and 4 more cuts by the end of the year. That's all I have for today. I'll be back with another update soon. Until then, please like, subscribe, and share this podcast, and follow me on Instagram and X at Shades of Jade Pod. Thank you for listening and have a great day.